Hey guys, coming at you live tonight from my bedroom. It's a new spot in the house. Usually I'm on the couch. I wanted to start in here because my first question from one of my readers was about decorating bedrooms. So I thought, what better way to talk through my answers to design questions than with using my room as an example. So if you haven't come to one of my Monday Night Lives before, I typically devote them to answering readers' questions regarding interior design, and I love being able to help you guys decorate your homes and figure out what's going to work best, and teaching you the tricks that I've kind of learned and developed over the years. So I've got 3 questions tonight from my readers specifically about decorating. So I'll go ahead and get started, and then I'm going to talk a little bit at the end about our One Room Challenge design project that starts this week. I'm really excited about it. We're guest participants this season, and we're going to be redoing our dining room. So there's really fun stuff coming up in regards to that project. But anyway, so my first question from my reader was, do you have recommendations for decorating a bedroom? This reader was specifically looking at decorating bedrooms or nurseries, but I don't have a nursery right now. My kids are both out of their nurseries, so I figured I would address the bedroom topic and then offline talk with her about nurseries. So a few of the things that I think about, first off, I'm going to give you a little tour of our bedroom and then talk about what things I think are important in bedroom decorating and why, and how you can kind of incorporate them into your room. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this around and give you guys a little tour. Okay, so let's see. Here's where you come in. This is the door to the hallway. So I'm going to start over here. So this is our bedroom. Mr. and Mrs., that's us. It's got kind of a linen color on the walls and a cream dresser. We've got kind of a natural linen duvet cover. I put a shiplap accent wall behind the bed. And we've done a tour of this room on the blog before too, but I wanted to talk through things that I think are important in a bedroom and then kind of show them to you in our room. So first off, I think it's really important, especially in a master bedroom, to do your best to make the bed like the focal point. Beds are obviously, it says poor connection. Okay, are you guys there? I hope so. I've never had that happen before. Poor connection. Can you guys, hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can't. Or maybe it's better if you let me know if you can. Anyway, so important things in a bedroom. Well, I'm going to go back out in the front of the house because obviously we don't have good enough connection in the bedroom to run this thing. So here we go. We're going to make a change in plans. Okay, so important things to decorate a bedroom. Make the bed the focal point. And one big important thing I think for that is to use, okay, is it better now? It doesn't say I'm having a hard time. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I've never had that happen. I think it's really important to have a headboard on your bed. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. You could even go and like paint a simple square or headboard on the wall above your bed, but something to give it that focal point, like this is the presence of the room. Another thing I think is important in a bedroom is adding nightstands on either side if you can, if you have room. Those with some lamps on the side of the bed will add a lot of style to the room. And obviously lots of pillows on the bed and curtains around the window, because those will give it a lot of comfort and coziness to the bedroom. But yeah, that's what I would say. So make the bed a focal point, add some nightstands, lamps, pillows, and maybe some curtains to up the style. I wouldn't say it's absolutely necessary to add rugs in the bedroom either, especially because most bedrooms have carpet. But thinking through, a bed skirt, if you have a metal frame and there's stuff under the bed, you don't want to be looking at that stuff. So adding a simple bed skirt, those are all really simple ways to decorate the bedroom and make it look stylish. So that would be my number 1 for decorating a bedroom. I happen to leave my list of questions in my bedroom, so I'm going to think through the other 2 questions that I had on my list. I'm pretty sure I know what they are. One of them was just basic, how do you place decor? Like on the walls, I'm assuming, or on shelves, those kinds of things. One rule of thumb that was given to me by an awesome designer before was not to hang things on the wall unless they're anchored by some sort of piece of furniture underneath them. Hi, Jenny. So I would say, if you're going to hang pictures on the wall without something below them, put it in a gallery. Otherwise, think about, okay, if like the picture in my room, if you're going to put a picture on the wall there above the dresser, kind of put it down right above the dresser, and so it feels kind of almost like part of the dresser in its place, so that it can be anchored there by the dresser. Or other examples might be, we have some like 3 pictures. I was going to show you guys these in my room. I'm so sad it wasn't working back there. We have a stack of 3 pictures over this tiny little table next to our bed. Or we have mirrors mounted above our nightstands. But all of those things, they have some sort of piece of furniture below them that anchors them on the wall. So just think through that when you're hanging pictures in your house. It doesn't always look as appealing to have a random picture on a random wall sitting by itself, but if you have it over a buffet or over even a chair against the wall, those kinds of things, that anchor furniture is going to make the picture look much more appealing. I was going to say too, decor placement like on shelves or on tables, those kinds of things, you want to think about putting them in groups of odd numbers. So putting 1 thing on the table, or 3 things, or maybe 5 things. The odd number is just more appealing to the eye. I'm not sure why, but that's just typically what it seems to be. But for example, we have in our bedroom on my nightstand, I have a tray with 1 plant in it, and that is just a single thing. But then I've got up on top of the dresser, I've got a tray with 2 boxes stacked, so that's kind of a grouping of 3. So those kinds of things are what you want to think about with decor placement on shelves or pieces of furniture, think in odd numbers. So those were a couple things I was thinking about. One of my other favorite tricks for decor placement is putting trays or plates of some sort kind of back against the wall behind whatever it is you're accentuating. So if you have like a pretty vase, put a pretty plate leaned up against the wall behind it as like a backdrop. That's one of my favorite things. Hi, Chris. To do when I'm putting decor on shelving especially. You'll see that in just about all of my pictures of my shelves when they're decorated. Hey, Steph. I like to lean things behind to add that kind of depth and visual interest. So when you're decorating your shelves, try and think through that. That's another one of my favorite things to get at the thrift stores is decorative plates or trays that you can kind of put behind your decor on the shelving to give it that style and interest. So that's a few of my recommendations for, yes, we have tons of shelves in our house. Any chance I have for open shelving, I do it. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite things. But I have a lot of things to store, and so, what better way than to put them out and display them versus just hiding them in some storage unit or some closet where you can't enjoy them. That's my personal opinion about the thing. Chris will tell you maybe we have too many. Hi, Hannah. Okay, so that would be my second question. So first question, how do you decorate a bedroom? That's a really broad question, but I'd say a few of my tips are to make the bed act like the focal point by adding a headboard of some sort, a kitchen windowsill. I don't put anything on my windowsill besides maybe a small bouquet of flowers. I have one that's kind of a longer, skinnier, like faux lavender plant that kind of fits on there nicely. But I don't have a very deep windowsill in my kitchen either. So I would say probably greenery, it would be my go-to for a kitchen windowsill. One of the, Jenny asked what I would recommend for decor on a windowsill. So sorry. I forget that when I do these replays, you can't see the comments. And so sometimes I go on these random tangents and then I'm like, I should probably mention why I'm even talking about that. So yeah, that's what I would say. Greenery is a good one. Okay, and then third question. These were really broad ones this week. It's interesting. How do you get started when you move into a brand new home and have a blank slate? That's a really good question. And I think a lot of people, moving into a new home alone is a big, huge thing when it comes to decorating and a huge thing to take on. And so I want to make sure and acknowledge that that's a lot of work. And I would say the first thing, when we moved, the first thing I did was I kind of took it as an opportunity to change my style if I really wanted to. Not necessarily buy all new stuff, but decide if I wanted to do a different style And if I did, how can I use what I have to kind of create that new look or that new feel I wanted? Because in our previous home, we had these huge vaulted ceilings. We'd done the front room in these beautiful green colors with dark wood furniture. It was very like nature-ish. And then when we moved into this new house, I thought, well, I loved that, but it's lower ceilings. It's kind of a little more cozy feeling house. Maybe we'll try this kind of farmhouse style. So I would say the first thing to do when you move into a new house is think through and find some inspiration pictures. Like really kind of decide, hone in on what style you want this home to have. And then once you have that established, you can kind of take a peek at, okay, what are my furnishings currently? Can I use the stuff that I have to get this look? Yeah, I love the farmhouse style. Obviously, we have it all over our house. Although, I don't know if you guys have seen the designs that oh, you haven't yet, because Wednesday my post goes live regarding our design for the dining room makeover, and it is much less farmhouse and much more moody, and I'm actually really excited about it. So we'll see. I figure I might as well take risks and try things that I'm like crushing on in my own home, because it's easy to change it out if we don't end up liking it. But as far as decorating and getting into a new style, there are definitely ways to not buy all new furniture too. That's one of my favorite things, is figuring out ways to repurpose what you've got using slip covers or painting things, or even just modifying the things that you have. Like our bed, I don't know if you've seen the headboard. I tried to show it, but my internet wouldn't work back there. Is a DIY upholstered project, and it's actually just a basic IKEA bed frame, the Malm or whatever, which is really cheap, and we've had it for years. When we moved in here, we decided we wanted a really pretty upholstered headboard, and so rather than going out and spending money to buy a new one, we just added another, 2 feet of plywood and then upholstered it ourselves and made it into what we wanted, but we didn't have to buy a whole new bed and a whole new headboard. So I think there are lots of ways to get new styles with what you've got, and just kind of repurposing or using in a new way the stuff that you already own. I'm really excited because the course that I've been working on, that I'm gonna open for enrollment in just a few months, is like totally focused on that whole process, figuring out what style you love, and then figuring out how to make it happen, whether it's with the stuff you already have or within your tight budget. I really want to help people achieve their dreams in their home without spending thousands and thousands of dollars. I know that it can be achieved on a budget, and I've done it with lots of people before, and so I'm really excited for this course that's coming up. It's going to launch just in a few months, so be on the lookout for that, because that's essentially what I'm going to be teaching and working on with you guys, is figuring out that style and how to get it in your home on your budget. So anyway, yeah, so I'd say those are my tips as far as the biggest and most important thing when you have a new home and a blank slate, is to really figure out what you want. And then once you know that, you can figure out how to get it with either what you have or some budget. Okay, so Jenny asked, would you show us how to repaint in different styles? I'm not sure I quite understand the question. And do you mean like what colors of paints would equal what styles? Or I don't know if I understand. I would love to. I mean, I'll show you whatever you want, but I want to make sure I answer it correctly. So Jenny, if you could just like clarify a little bit. Yeah, so as far as paints, I mean, there are obviously different tones equal different styles. The farmhouse style is very much more neutrals. So yeah, this is really good. Okay, so Jenny's got some really good ideas, thinking through the different styles and what paint colors and wood tones would go with those different styles. Absolutely. In fact, Jenny, I will put something together for next week's live, and that will be one of my questions for the 3 next week, if that's okay with you. I would love to come better prepared with more styles than just the few that I typically use, because obviously there's other styles people love, and I want to be sure that we mention those. So yeah. So anyway, I didn't have a whole lot tonight. In fact, I don't even really feel that great tonight. So I almost had Chris come on here and tell you all that I was sick and make him try the whole live thing, but I didn't put him through that misery. I think I'm not going to stay on too long tonight. I'm going to sign off here quickly, but I wanted to be sure and come on and at least touch base with you guys and make sure and mention my course that's coming up because I'm really excited about it, and I want to make sure and answer questions as we're getting closer to the launch date and the enrollment process. So feel free to email me if you have questions or want to get involved. It's rachel@joyfulderivatives.com. And Again, we're doing the one-room challenge as guest participants this year, and it starts this week, so be on the lookout. Wednesday, the featured designers are going to be participating, and then Thursday we link up as guests, and I'm really excited. We're doing some really bold stuff in our dining room, and I want you guys to not only follow along, but I'm going to be posting some questions, like polls and stuff in my stories, have real-time updates in the stories as we go, so you guys can see the project not just once a week on my blog posts, but as we're going, help me make decisions, because we always make decisions in the middle of the project. There's always something we have to decide. So I want to get you guys involved, and I'm going to do some polls along the way to see what you guys think as far as decisions we have to make. So anyway, if you just joined, we reviewed three reader questions tonight. One was tips for decorating a bedroom. The next was recommendations for decor placement. And then the third was, if you have a new house and a blank slate, how do you decide what to do with your house? And so I'm going to sign off, but feel free to watch the replay of the live and hear my answers for those questions. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all for sure on Monday, but probably before then as we start working through the one-room challenge. We may not get a whole bunch done this weekend because I'm going to Bend on the other side of the state for a 10K. I'm running a 10K on Sunday, you guys. I've been training for like 8 weeks. Hopefully it goes well. Our goal is to run them in a 9:15 pace, but we'll see how that goes. We've been training at about 9:30 per mile, so we'll see. But anyway, exciting stuff. Lots to come. I hope to see you guys soon, and thank you so much for following along. We'll talk to you soon.